Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Zohar class, Rosh Chodesh Tov. Tonight is Rosh Chodesh Av. This is a new Hebrew month of Av. We're going to start tonight. And next Shabbat, next week is 9th of Av, Tisha B'Av. And do you know what Av means in Hebrew?
No.
Av means father, Peda.
Papa.
Means father, means Peda. Av means father. So what is the secret behind this name? Why month of Av? We have a chance to get close to our Father. We have a chance to get close to our King, to our Creator. Can you imagine all these years they told us, 9th of Av is such a negative, such a sad, such a dark. No, it's not. We have a chance to get close to our Father. Or, like, few thousand years ago, the spies, the Meraglim, what they did on 9th of Av, they bring bad news. They were selfish, they have agenda. So we have a choice. We have a choice. Do we want to be like the spies, like the Meraglim, complain, be selfish, have an agenda, have a personal desires, or we want to be close to our Father, month of Av. We have a choice. So all the restriction, don't eat, don't travel, no party, because we want to put aside all the everyday affairs and we want to be close to our Father. That's what month of Av means. This lady, she asked an amazing question, and I was going to start the class with this subject. What are we doing? What are we doing through all these classes? And last week portion was Pinchas, and the Kabbalah says by Pinchas we finish the Torah. Up to Pinchas, the Torah is teaching us, what to do, what's the character should be, this is the owner's manual, how I'm supposed to live my life, up to Pinchas. After Pinchas, is become like, commentary. It's like a repetition. So if you ask why Torah finishes in Pinchas, why the Kabbalah says up to Pinchas? Because what is our goal? What is our goal in this life? What is our purpose in this life? What are we studying all these portions? Why are we doing all these meditations? Our purpose is to become Sadiq, to become righteous. All the studying, all the portions, all the prayers, our goal is to become righteous. And why it's finishing Pinchas? Because we had 3 righteous people in the Torah. We had 3 Sadiqim. Can you name them? Do you know who was the first Sadiq in the Torah?
Abraham.
No, Noach. Noach was the first Sadiq. And the second one is Yosef. Yosef had Tzaddik. And the last one, the third one is Pinchas, which is Tzaddik Gamur, the complete Tzaddik. That's why the Torah finishes as in a Pinchas, because we've done our job. If our purpose is to become righteous, the Torah teaches us through Noach, Yosef, and Pinchas how to be righteous, how to be Tzaddik. What's the differences between the 3 Tzaddikim? The first one, Noach, the Torah says it was a horrible environment. There was no laws, no orders, and Noach was the only one that knew God. He's the only one that was righteous. And it's so funny, we live in Hollywood, it's kind of, the way we live. All these fancy, all these, things we see on TV, on iPhones and iPads, and all these, characters in our society that we want to be like them. And we stay away. We say, I want to be tzaddik, I want to be righteous. This is not a lifestyle for me. And Yosef, he was the king. He was in charge of his life. He was controlling his behavior. They put Yosef in jail, he became the king of the jail. They put him, to be a slave, he became the king of the slaves. He always outsmart. He always was in charge of his desires. And that's the next level for us. Finally, we have to be the king of our life, to make the right decision, to make the right choices. And Pinchas, the last tzaddik, which is like the complete tzaddik, he acted upon his belief system. He did what is right. Not as a philosophy, not as a way he was thinking, but he was also acting upon his belief system. So, through the years that we studied the Torah, we were all learning how to become a righteous person. And what does it mean to be righteous? Is to do right and stay away from wrong, from bad. Righteous is, totally not to be selfish, totally not to be, have ego, not to think about self. So that's the purpose of studying the Torah. And that's why we go through different stages, to learn how to be righteous. This portion, by the way, is Matot and Masaei. Matot means the head of the tribe, means like the president of the tribes. And Masaei means the traveling, the journey that we have to go through and the Bnei Israel went through. So this class we're going to divide it to 3. We're going to talk about Pinchas, since we didn't have a class last week. And then we're going to talk about Matot, which is also talking about Neder, about our speech. And Masaei is talking about our journey, our travel. Last portion about Pinchas, I know you come on Shabbat and you hear Mr. Nader, but there is one point that I want to emphasize on it. The most important, I don't want to repeat the story, the story of the Pinchas. The most important word in the Pinchas section is shalom, peace, salam,
Peace.
salam.
Yeah.
So to have peace in your life. In English they say it in a nice way, peace of mind. Our purpose in life is to have peace. Peace in our body, peace in our business, peace in our relations, peace between the nations. So how can we reach that shalom? And by the way, we don't have that shalom, we don't have that peace. That's why the vav is broken. Because we are supposed to reach that shalom. In the Torah, and the word shalom, the vav is broken. Because we don't have it. We're trying to achieve, reach, get to that peace of mind. So if the goal is peace, how can we get there? Can we have peace in our life with all the money in the world? Do you know, if you have all the money, or if you have all the, finance of the world, do you have peace? No. If you're good looking, do you have peace? No. If you have a title, if you are the president, if you are a big teacher, if you are a good big leader, do you have peace? No. If we're healthy, do we have peace? No. We start looking for the peace, God forbid, after we become unhealthy. So we are finding out that the peace that is so essential, this is what we need in our life, you cannot reach peace with none of the material world. And how do we reach that peace? How do we find that shalom? That shalom we can find if we can control our desires, if we can control our passions, if we can control, in Hebrew it's a ta'ava, what my heart desires. we all desire a million things, and we can ask the question, why the Creator give us these desires? Because without desire, there is no movement. If I woke up in the morning, I don't have no desires, I'm not going to get out of the bed. I'm not going to leave the house. So we have to have desires. We have to have desires to live, to grow, to make money, to help others. So having a desire is embedded into our system, but unfortunately, we use that desire for things that we don't have, that we want, my heart desires. So it looks like I have peace if I control my desires, and I don't have peace if my desires are out of control. I want a big house, I want a big car, I want this, I want the most beautiful soulmate, I want so many things. So one of the lessons of Pinchas is, if I control my desires to what is my share in life is. If you put limits into your desires to who you are, where you were born, the way you look, the finances you have, your capabilities, your families, your understanding, your portion, your purpose in this life, if you put your desires within what you are, you're going to have peace. But if your desires are much bigger, beyond your capabilities, you're never going to have peace. Is it clear? Do we understand this point?
Again. Please.
So, our goal is to have peace, shalom. But I can reach that by controlling my desires within the limits of my capabilities. Who I am, with my family, my country. I want millions of dollars, but I'm capable of having a small business. Anything bigger than that, I'm going to lose my peace. So, if I control my desires within my limits, then I can have peace. But if I desire things beyond my capabilities, that's going to take away the shalom, the peace from me. Can you imagine if you're happy with who you are, with your life, with your money, with your looks, with your family, with your class, with your community? That's state of shalom, that's state of peace. But if constantly we're desiring things beyond our reach, that's going to take the peace away from us. I think Dr. Holakouی has a good sentence about it. He says, به خاطر تخت خواب تو از بین نبر. So we lose our peace because we desire things beyond our reach. Everybody has a different tikkun, everybody has a different correction. Whatever it is with your life, that's what you need in order to do your correction. This society, this Hollywood takes us back to Noah. Teach us bigger, richer, stronger, better good looking. That's Hollywood. That's not our purpose in life. Our purpose in life is to do my correction, whatever is built for me. If you're in this class, thanks for coming, by the way, you try your best to become the best student. You don't dream about other classes, you don't dream about other philosophies. There was a power, there was an energy. The Creator wanted you to study this. So do your best to study this and don't dream about other things, other philosophies. So that was the portion of Pinchas that I want to talk to you guys. And we all know that Pinchas is about healing, salamati. And guess what? The shalom, the peace is going to bring us healing, salamati. We're all looking for a magic pill that's going to bring healing. That magic pill is shalom, is peace. To be content, to be happy with your share. I'm not talking about being passive and not trying to grow. Whatever your circumstances, you make the most of it, like yourself. Whatever job, whatever business you have, you become number one in it. Whatever the situation is in your family, you be the righteous one. Whatever the health issue is, you admire, you appreciate, you love your life for whatever it is. So that magic pill that's going to bring us peace is shalom. Is going to bring us healing is shalom. Now we're going to move on to the portion of Matot. Matot is, like I said, is the name of the president. Is Moshe is talking to the head of the tribes. By the way, this is the same people, the Meraglim, that they bring the bad news from Israel. These are the same people. So the portion starts that Moshe is talking to the head of the tribes, the presidents. And it tells the president, do what you say, accomplish what comes out of your mouth. Don't be a wishy-washy president. Whatever you promise, you act upon it. It's so funny. I was talking to my friends. All the presidents we had in the past many years, except this one, they promise, and they don't act upon it. This time the Torah is talking about the president within us, our head, our consciousness. It says, you know all the right thing to do, you know how to be a righteous, start acting upon it. And our president is our head, our consciousness, our mind. Because the mind is control, the heart, the body. Moshe is not talking to our hand, he's not talking to our eyes or to our heart. He's talking to our head, the ruler of our body and life. He says, whatever you promise, do it. Whatever comes out of your mouth, you have to keep the promise. And then, the Torah starts talking about neder. You all know what neder is, right? Like making a promise.
No.
In Farsi, Naz. Thank you very much. The Torah is talking about, I know we're all talking about neder, we want to travel, we said neder, we want to have a party, we said neder. The Torah and the Zohar is very clear about it. He says anything that comes out of your mouth is a neder. It's not about promising, it's not about I'm going to travel next month. Anything comes out of your mouth is a promise, is a naz, is a neder. Good or bad. We are building the platform of our life by our speech. We can, look at people, they can dress up nice, they can look great, but the moment they start talking, then we understand what is their character, who they are. So the voice and the speech actually is coming out of our neshama, out of our ruach, who we are. So, like before the class, I wrote it on the board here in Hebrew. Dibur, speech, and davar, things is the same words, and also light. So whatever comes out of our mouth has powers, have energies. How the Torah starts, that the Creator God, He speak and He created things. He says, let there be light. There was light. He didn't build the world with His hands or legs. He built the world with His mouth, with speaking. We build our life, our olam, our universe with the way we speak. Obviously, positive speak creates a good life for us, and negative speech, it creates a chaos in our life. The Kabbalists are very harsh about it. He says if there is a chaos in our life, it's only because of our negative speech. And the only way to switch, the only way to transfer, to rejuvenate, to reverse our, we call it mazal, you call it luck, is by changing our speech. So it's, we all know Torah, we all study Torah. Again, I go back to the Bereshit. God created world with His speech, and we are made in the image of the Creator. Whatever we say affects our life. Whatever comes out of our mouth is build a platform for our future. So now guess what? We all get angry, right? We say horrible things when we are angry, when we are hateful. And that's a major chaos for our life. And what is the cause of being angry is nothing but ego. From the very first day we studied Kabbalah, we said ego is our biggest enemy. So, and this is another way to look at it. Because ego, it's my way or the highway, I'm right, I'm the one that is right, selfish, controlling, judgmental, all those negative characters that's hidden within the ego make us say the negative things. And that's platform for our future. The Zohar actually go even further. It says how much you worth depends to what comes out of your mouth. How much you worth, that's a very strong statement. Like what comes out of your mouth tells everybody who you are, what you are, how much you worth. And in a portion of Pinchas is talking about cholesterol, is talking about the inside our bodies and the chemicals. And there is a section in the Pinchas, it says each time we get angry, each time we say something negative, there is a pouch in our body, mara, how do you call it? It's like a poison. Kisei safra, there is a poison. Why there is a poison? Why there is a bag of poison with our body? So each time we get angry, each time we say something extremely negative, there is a drop that coming out of that sac and goes to our blood. And God forbid, the more we get angry, the more we use negative speech, the more we are hateful, the more of that poison comes to in our blood system. So honestly, after studying this portion, I want to be super careful what's coming out of my mouth. Only kedusha, only holiness, only positivity. There is a wonderful life. There is a wonderful destiny is waiting for us. But the more we complain, the more we are negative, the more we say hateful words, is going to create distance between us and the wonderful destiny. We're going to talk about it more. If you open a Sidurim, it's so amazing. Whoever that's familiar with the Sidurim, Shabbatot, the prayers. The most important prayer is the Shmona Esrei, the 18 berachot that we say, right? How does it start? It says, Adonai sefatai tiftach v'pi yegi teilatech. It says, God, open my mouth so I can only say good things. The most important prayer that we have. No, God, I love you. No, please give me money. No, the most important prayer 3 times a day that we say says, God, open my mouth so I can say positive things. And how is the prayer ends after the Shmona Esrei? Elohai netzor shani milah omirma. God, stop my mouth from saying bad things, from saying negative things. Read the Sidurim. I don't have a Sidur here, but on Shabbat I'm going to show it to you guys. So part of studying Zohar and Kabbalah is to be involved also into the prayer books. Is totally aligned. It's okay. It's totally aligned with our study and belief system. So the most important prayer that we say 3 times a day on Shabbatot, open my mouth for saying good and stop my mouth from saying negative. To cheat, mirma means to cheat, to deceive other people. There is one thing about neder. I was thinking on the way here. This is beautiful. You're gonna like it. What is the neder that the Torah says don't say it? Why we are not supposed to say a neder, make a promise, make a naz? Usually we make a neder for things we don't have. We never talk about the car we have, we never talk about the house we have, we never talk about the clothing or the business that we have. We always talk about things we don't have. We always think about things we don't have. I want a 5-carat diamond ring, I want a Lamborghini, I want a mansion in Beverly Hills. So we always talk or make a neder or speak about things we don't have. So why neder is so bad? Because we don't appreciate what we have. We don't understand that I have a correction, I have a tikkun with whatever I have now. If I keep wishing for something I don't have, that means I'm going totally against my Creator. He give me the right circumstances, the right business, the right house, because I have a job to do. But if we keep talking about things we don't have, that's why the Torah is so against the neder, because usually we talk about things we don't have, and we are not appreciating what we have. And by talking about it, the negative side gives justification to it. Yeah, I want a big that house, look at my house, or look at my life. So the negative side gives justification to our speech. So the reason they said don't make a neder, because usually it's about something we don't have. And it's create distance between us and what the Creator assigned for me. All these things that we crave, all these, expensive bags and shoes and material things that we desire so much, are we going to take them with ourselves, to Olam Haba?
No.
There is only one thing we are taking with ourselves, is our soul. And how much we transform it to be a better one. I spoke before in the classes, the biggest investment we can make is within our soul, because next time around I come back, I want to have a good life, I want to have an easy life. If I'm transform myself to be righteous now, I'm going to have a good life next time around, because I'm going to take that reward with me. I was thinking about a very funny subject. The pharaoh, the pharaohs, and the pyramids, right? When they died, they buried them in the pyramids. What did they bury them with? What did they bury with the pharaoh in the pyramids?
All his jewelry.
Belonging, jewelry, all his clothing, his golden bed. At the time they didn't have Ferraris or Lamborghinis, but they put his golden chariot with him in a grave.
Really?
Yeah, that's why they have a King Tut museum right now in downtown LA.
Yes, they are showing.
Yeah. So they believed, all my life I try to have gold, clothing, jewelry, the best car. Okay, if they're gonna die, let me take it with me. So they buried all their belongings with them. They are gone for thousands of years, and we are enjoying their belongings. So in reality, nothing is belong to us. Nothing is belong to us. So we keep talking and getting angry and losing our peace about things that doesn't even belong to us. We're going to leave everything here for other people to laugh and enjoy it. The only thing we can take is our soul. So we need to invest in that. Bring it peace, bring it unity with its creator, bring it joy, bring it happiness. So, you know, the example of the pyramids and the pharaoh is amazing. You know, they did it for us to learn. After 4,000 years, we find the Louis Vuitton bags. So the point that I was getting to, that, you know, be careful what we speak, because if we speak about material world, we are building a wrong platform. Either way, we're going to leave everything behind. But if we speak in a positive, constructive way, we are adding to our soul, we are adding to our neshama. And this is what we're going to be able to take with us to Olam Haba. And it's a very powerful sentence. I love it very much. It says, by talking, I can reverse my life. By saying the right thing, by being the positive, being constructive, I can reverse whatever chaos it is in my life. And I repeat that sentence again. The Kabbalah says, whatever chaos, pain, whatever wrong there is in our life is because of our speech. Our speech is very powerful. It's equal to light again. The light is create everything. Let's talk about a little bit more about 9th of Av and the month of Av, and we're going to move to the next portion, Masaei. There is one thing we have to do in the next week. We have 7 days.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is 1st of Av. Tisha B'Av is next week. And the Zohar and the Torah knows about it. The only thing we are supposed to do is chesed, kindness, love, giving. Thank you for all the giving today. That's a good way to start the month of Av.
Av is the month of Leo?
Yes. So, and we said before the class, Av or at the beginning of the class, Av means father. I can get close to my king. How can I get close to my king? How can I get close to my creator? Only by chesed, only by kindness. The creator is only made of kindness and love, and the only way for me to get close to him is by practicing kindness and love. There is a section in the Zohar we're going to read that it's about the portion of Matot, and like I said, that Pinchas was the last. The Kabbalah says that the Pinchas is the last portion of the Torah, because after Pinchas there is not that much Zohar anymore, right, Farmaju? Right. You know, if there is up to Pinchas there is a Zohar for every section of the Torah. After Pinchas there is some portion that have Zohar, most of them they don't have Zohar, and this Shabbat we're going to read Matot and Masaei. Is the longest reading of the year. I think like 200 something verses. Guess how much Zohar there is about it? Only 2 pages. Only 2 pages. We are in Zohar number 21, and we are in the very last page, page 298, section 6. And this portion was designed for the week of Tisha B'Av, 9th of Av. How we can protect ourselves? How can we? It's a harsh time. It's a heavy time. The only way I can protect myself is by practicing chesed, love and kindness. 298, section 6. Can you turn on the air a little bit? Thank you. Kitab 21, book number 21. So we're going to read the Aramaic. Don't cross your hands, don't cross your legs. Let's read it with this kavanah, that this coming week, that it's a tough week, it's a heavy week. I'm going to remember, whatever I say, whatever I do, whatever I think, It's going to be full of chesed, full of love, full of kindness. That's the only way I can protect myself from this heavy week. Don't cross your hands, look, don't cross your legs. We are reading section 6. If you don't have the book, that's fine. Just you can close your eyes and follow the Aramaic. ותח אזי, כתיב אמרתי עולם חסד יבנה, מאי חסד הוא חד מכתרי עלי דמלכה, דנשמתה דישראל, כלל הקודשה בריחו חסד, על תנאי דהתבנאי ולא ישרצי חסד מעלמה, משמע דכתיב יבנה, בגין כך תנין מהן דשצי חסד מעלמה. אשתעצה הוא לעלמה דעתי, ועל דא כתיב לא תהיה אשת המת החוצה בגין למעבר חסד אימיתה, ואת אביד בעניינה דכתיב עולם חסד ייבנה. Come and behold, it is written, for I have said the world is built by chesed, kindness. What is chesed? He answered, it is one of the king's supernal sephirot, namely the highest of the Lord's seven sephirot. For the Holy One, blessed be he named the soul of Israel chesed, on the condition that he would build chesed. Thus chesed will never cease. This is derived from the phrase, it's built, which refer to chesed that will be built. We have therefore learned that he who caused chesed to cease in the world will perish in the world to come. یک جمله خیلی هارشی زوهر استفاده میکنه، میگه کسی که با kindness، با love، با مهربونی act نکنه، he doesn't have a portion in the next world, in عالم haba. So the next week, whatever circumstances, whatever phone call you get, whatever the situations, whatever news you hear, you respond with chesed, with kindness, with love, with mehraboni. This is the remedy for Tisha B'Av. Now we're going to move to the other section of the class, the other section of the Torah. Masaei means the journey, traveling. This is a beautiful lesson. You're going to love it. So the last portion of the Torah, of the book of Bamidbar, talking about the traveling of Bnei Israel. And it starts from the very beginning, when they left Egypt, until they reached the border of Israel. Do you know how long that trip took for Bnei Israel? 4 years. In reality, if you walk from the pyramid to Jerusalem, do you know how long does it take you? We talked about it before.
1 day.
No. 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the journey of 11 days? We talked about it last year. A journey can take 11 days. It took him 40 years. You heard about the saying in English says you walk in circles? You keep walking in circles? This is exactly what happened to them. Walking in circles. That's our journey. I'm supposed to, in a very short time, I can become a righteous. I can become Sadiq. I'm supposed to become Sadiq. I'm supposed to become a righteous person. And I can do it in a very short time. But unfortunately, my wrong desires, what I see, what my heart is desires, all the pleasures, all the indulgements that my body wants, keep making me walk in circles, circles, circles. Instead of reaching my goal in a very short time, all the happiness, Israel is in a point of all the happiness, all the success, all the shalom that I want in my life, I can reach in a very short time. But we keep going in circles, we keep complaining, we keep saying the wrong things. So this section is talking about the journey that they did and the stops they made. Do you know how many stops they did between Egypt to Israel? 42 stops. which is correspond to Ana Bekoach. This is a very huge lesson. And the Torah says some stops, they were stopped for a day, some stops took him for a year, for 2 years even. So what does it mean that they had stops for 1 day or for 1 year, 2 years? The stops is the journey that I have to go through in order to complete my tikkun, to complete my purpose in this life. I have to learn to control my anger, I have to learn to control my desires, I have to stop being so fearful, I have to learn how to be more brave, I have to stay away from gossiping, I have to learn to stop being selfish, I have to learn how to be giving. Some lessons, it takes me a short time to overcome. Maybe I was more angry like last year, but this year I learned how to change my anger. But maybe I have an issue with jealousy that I cannot fix. 1 year, 2 years, 1 lifetime, 2 lifetimes, and I'm still jealous. You're still stuck in that one stop. So the Zohar teaches us that there is 42 levels of transformation. It's 42 levels that I need to change myself in order to reach my goals. Some of them I fixed, some of them I'm stuck. I'm not fixing it. Is that clear? We understand, what we're talking about here? So some negative characters, I'm working on it and it's easy for me to fix. Some negative characters, wow, the whole lifetimes, it takes a lifetime and I'm still not fixing it. And guess what? We're going to come back, keep coming back with the same issues until we solve those 42 levels. Why they like the Ana Bekoach so much? Why the Kabbalists keep saying the Ana Bekoach? Because it's like the manifestation, it's like a hint. I need to go through these 42 steps to correct myself. And we're going to have a very fun practice. You guys are going to love this practice. We're going to have a nice practice after the class. It's going to take time, so we cannot do it on the camera. And guess what? It's a funny story. It says when they left Egypt, Moshe was 80 years old, right? And the rich Israel was 120. Our soul is tired, It want to reach the redemption already. Enough with all the chaos and all the pains and the sicknesses and the issues. I want to learn how to correct myself in these 42 levels. So what is the cause that I'm stuck in certain negative behavior? Why I can fix my anger but I cannot fix my jealousy? Why can I fix my controlling but I cannot fix my hate, for example? The answer for it is I don't have the strength to change. We think, it's too difficult. I've been like this for 30 years, 20 years, 4 years. Come on, you want me to change myself? We don't believe we have a strength to put an end into the negative characters, controlling, Lashon Hara, or whatever it is. And the second point is that we are not even aware. We're not even aware that we are stuck in one negative situation. Somebody is angry all the time. That's a way of life for him. He says, if I don't get angry, I cannot do business. I cannot convince my clients. So number one is we don't have the strength. And the second one is we're not even aware of it. What is the remedy? How can we fix that stuckness, that status of being stuck? Number one is not being lazy. Laziness is the total opposite of transforming ourselves. There is an urgency to change myself. I want to reach my goals. I want to reach all the health and happiness. But the laziness take away the urgency. we are too lazy to come to the class, we're too lazy to listen to the tape of the class, it's too lazy to come to Kenisa, too lazy to buy a book and read a book, too lazy to talk to my teacher or my friend. Excuse me? Too lazy to exercise. We all know exercising and gym is wonderful, but we're too lazy. Is the body, the soul loves it to be active, to transform, but the body is keep pulling it back, make us be lazy. The other way to look at it is that our body wants to feel, want to sleep late, want to have a pleasure, but our soul is want to keep moving forward. There is another. So number one is to stop being stuck in one of those negative characters. Is because we are lazy. We don't want to work on it. We don't want to. It's very easy for us to see other people's wrongdoing, but we are too lazy to deal with our own wrongdoing. The second way that the tool number two that we can fix being stuck in one negative character is a kind of a harsh lesson, is by experiencing death among people that we know. If we have a, God forbid, death in the family, or if we have a death in a neighbor or somebody that we know passed on, all of a sudden, we feel the urgency that, wow, there is a reason I'm here. I have a job to do. And I forgot about the main reason, about the good characters. I'm supposed to be tzaddik, righteous. But when we experience and we see people dying or passing on, then that sense of urgency comes back to us. Unfortunately, it's for a short time, and then we go back to our old habits. So, there is a nice lesson in Kabbalah. It says we are supposed to see our grandparents die. We are supposed to see our parents after 120 years die. This is an experience that we must go through, because this is when we realize how precious this time is that we have to do the right thing. We don't want to be like a pharaoh and invest in the jewelry and luxury that anyway we are not going to take. We want to invest into transforming ourselves to a better person, transforming our soul to be righteous. So we have to have this sense of urgency. I want you to write this word, sense of urgency. I want to transform myself now. I want to change my negative characters now. I don't want to live a lifetime for nothing and come back to the same scenario. We can do our correction in a very short time, but we can stretch it out to many lifetimes, many chaoses, and many, God forbid, pain and suffering. Let's read the second portion of Zohar, and we're going to end the class with it. We are in book number 1, page 114. Book number 1, page number 114, section 189. How can we, it's talking about how can we, if I'm stuck in one negative character for many years, how can I change it? We said number 1 is stop being lazy, and number 2 is see the end. There is no way to run away from it. We see people die, and we have to learn from it. What can I achieve in this time that we have left, where I'm wasting my time, and where I'm actually adding to my soul for it to be righteous. So this section of the Zohar says, it's talking about precepts, mitzvot. We have 613 mitzvot. He says the most important one, number 1, is Yirat Shamayim. Yira in Hebrew means fear, but it's not talking about fear, it's talking about seeing. Yira also in Hebrew is re'iyah, means seeing. He says, see what's important in life. See what benefits you in life. The right speech, the right lifestyle that's going to make me righteous. Anything else is we're going to leave behind. Is not getting us closer to our destiny. So, one of the things after we learn in Kabbalah for many years, we start seeing the truth in life. What's important? What's, like at the beginning of the class, you ask about the Torah portions, about the birthday portions. We want to see what is my purpose in this life. So, we are in book number 1, section 114. 114, section 189. With this kavanah, we're going to read this section. That our eyes is going to open. We're going to see in a soul level. See what is important in life. I want to be united with my Creator and the purpose He gave me. And, I don't want to go with my wrong feeling, with my wrong desires. That's going to make a distance between me and destiny. But I want to see through the Torah portion, through the birthdays. That's one of the tools. I want to see what is my purpose. What is my goals? What is my achievements? All the luxury, all the funds, all the material world doesn't get me closer to my destiny. Only by seeing my purpose, my place, my reasons for whatever is going around me. That's the kavanah. Don't cross your hands, don't cross your legs. We're going to read section 189. Bereshit bara Elohim, hada hi pekuda kadmaha de kula ve'akrai pekuda da yirad Hashem. Da akrai reshit. Dichtiv reshit chokhma yirad Adonai. Yirad Adonai reshit da'at. Begin de milah da reshit akrai ve'da ayeu tar'a la'alma. La'ala. Go meinuta ve'al pekuda da et kayam kol alma. In the beginning, Elohim created. This is the first and foremost precept of all. And this precept is called the fear of the Hashem, which is called the beginning. As it's written, the fear of Hashem is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of Hashem is the beginning of knowledge. Because this fear is called a beginning and it's a gateway through which one enters into faith. So based on the precept, the whole world is able to exist. What the Zohar says, that the most important mitzvah, the most important precept out of the 6 and 13 is Yirat Hashem, is having the knowledge, having the wisdom. What is my purpose? What is this movie? What is this scenario? What is this family? Why I'm in this class? Why my friends? Why my job? To see the purpose and to see what the urgency that I need to correct whatever is negative. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful week. Stay in your places. We're going to have a nice practice.